Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss 7 questions to ask your new boss. As you already know, the format of my channel is that we're going to review an article and then I will insert in there my comments and feedback. So it starts with, no matter how many years you've worked, starting a new job is often nerve-wracking. There are so many unknowns to figure out, and one of the biggest question marks is your new boss. How can you set your relationship up for success? One of the biggest things I learned in my coaching career is that helping people manage their bosses is arguably as important as helping them to manage themselves. This often means relearning what it means to adapt to an organization, as everything that may have made you effective with your previous manager may not necessarily help you with your new one. For example, I once went from working for a very sociable, hedonistic, and assertive boss to working for a very quiet, cautious, and serious boss. My personality stayed the same, but I was forced to learn habits, adjust my behavior, and relearn how to adapt. While there's no universal or simple formula for improving your ability to get along and work effectively with your new boss, the good news is that you will make a great deal of progress if you can ask the right questions. Here are 7 questions to consider. Number 1. Who should I meet with outside of our team? Although we have come a long way to make organizations more talent-centric and merit-based, the old premise is still true. What you know is often less important than who you know. This is why office politics are so important. Your ability to figure out how to influence others will improve if you can get to a quick understanding of the unspoken or informal networks that govern the social dynamics of your new team or organization. Your boss is ideally placed to provide you with this intel. This I definitely agree with. I hate the old adage that it's not what you know, but who you know, because of course I'm very centric on merit-based things because I just prefer that. But for the most part, when you're in a corporate culture, you definitely have to be able to get along with others and know, like it mentioned, excuse me, I don't know what my hair is doing this today, but also you do have to know the office politics. It is very important. A lot of times the persons with the titles are not necessarily who's pulling the strings, if that makes any sense. Like you can get close to someone that may not have necessarily that high title as your boss, but your boss is definitely influenced by that person. So definitely you do want to know the key players, and you also want to be able to get along with them because office politics are definitely still active and vibrant even when you're working from home. Number 2, how do you prefer to communicate? With many people uncertain about their short-term work environment, whether that's working from home, returning to the office, some type of hybrid work, etc., it is important to be flexible about how you can best communicate with your manager, particularly if you have never met them in person. Definitely agree with that. Some jobs, they will offer for you to communicate with each other outside of the organization's programs or whatever software and systems that they're using. I prefer to stay within those boundaries just for can you tell I don't trust people very much? I think that's what's coming across in this video now I'm thinking about it. But no, I prefer to stay within the confines of the office as far as communication, because things can definitely get misinterpreted, and I don't like to put myself in a position to be misinterpreted. So I like to keep things very professional and very straight lines. Every once in a while I will stray outside of them, because of course as you're working with people you do start making friends. So you do have some coworkers that you bond with, or you guys vibe, even if it is work from home and online, and you kind of it just kind of happens, right? But yeah, I definitely you want to learn how to best and effectively communicate with your boss as well as your peers. All right, so number 3, what is the best way to ask for your input and feedback? You want to ask your boss, What is the best way to ask for your input and feedback? It says establishing a cadence where you can get regular feedback on how you are doing, even via 15 minutes weekly chats or regular email check-ins, will help you regulate and calibrate your efforts to improve your performance. Absolutely 100% agree. Especially when you're working from home. I mean, I have videos talking about self-confidence in order to or is how important self-confidence is for you to have as you're working from home. But absolutely, you want to be able with your boss to establish that new relationship with them. You want to make sure that you ask for their input and feedback as much as possible. I mean, as the author mentioned, sometimes you might have a very quiet boss, right? And so you might have to kind of might have to kind of pull the information from them or ask, on a regular scheduled moment in time in order for them to know that you are going to constantly be seeking this information. And then also I've had a video about over communication, right? Sometimes your boss may not even be very good in that area. So you just want to make yourself readily available and let them know that you are seeking input and feedback. And so if you let them know or ask them what's the best way to ask for your input and feedback, that kind of gives them notice that that is what you're looking for, right? Number 4, what can I do to support the team and add value to the organization? This question will enable you to clarify your role, align with your boss on expectations, and strategically prioritize tasks and efforts. Managers often fail to clearly and explicitly articulate what their top priority is, how they see team members fitting in, and what they mostly need from them. Understanding this quickly will help you deliver where it matters most. Absolutely 100% agree with this. What can I do to support the team and add value to the organization? I think this would be even a great interview question, right? Because I think you've already established, how you plan. You've gotten the job because you've established they liked the way that you or whatever you discussed during your interview to establish how you plan and how you plan to and what you can offer to the organization and to the position. And so just asking what they are looking for, like I mentioned, this would be a great interview question. And absolutely, if you have asked that in the interview, you want to reiterate this just to let them know that you are a team player and you're looking for advancing their vision and not coming in with your own regardless of your previous experience. Okay. And so number 5 is, what would you do if you were in my shoes? This question will not just invite your manager to empathize with you, allowing them to see things from your perspective. It will also show them that you respect them and appreciate their expertise. No matter how logical or insightful their advice may be, it can create a good connection between the two of you and further deepen your understanding of how your manager thinks, feels, and acts. Yes, I have definitely asked that. From feedback, I mean, whenever you're getting feedback and or if you're bringing up opportunities for change or I think just a good way of bringing up opportunities, I think it's good to ask, what would you do if you were in my shoes? So you also are learning their expectations, right? I do like how it says it's allowing them to see things from your perspective, but also you're learning their perspective. Like it mentioned, it also is, what does it say? It will also show them, that you appreciate their expertise, definitely. But it creates a good connection because you begin to understand how your manager thinks, feels, and will act, right? So I think the questions so far have been really good for just opening up those lines of communication so that you're what is the word I'm looking for? You're inviting them to share as well as letting them know that you're open to listen, right? So that's great, so that they can know that you're ready to work and they can trust you or begin to trust you, right? It's opening up those lines of communication. Number 6, how can I further develop my potential? As the brilliant Hermona Ibarra noted, great leaders excel at coaching and mentoring their people. You can nudge your boss to play this role by asking them to assess and develop your potential. This means going beyond your performance to focus on what you could do. In a world that is increasingly pushing us to reskill and upskill, it is hard to underestimate the importance of expanding our horizons and being open to reimagining or reinventing our talents to further proof our career, to future proof our career. Now read that sentence again. It is hard to underestimate the importance of expanding our horizons and bringing open to reimagining or reinventing our talents to future proof our career. Incidentally, this question will also clarify the existing criteria for promotion and advancement, which will help you be objective and pragmatic about your plans and will keep your boss honest. So again, you are asking, how can I further develop my potential? I do like that question because, as it mentioned, it does clarify the existing criteria for promotion and advancement. It alerts your boss that you are looking to advance, right? And it also invites them to just more invitation for feedback. So those are all great. Well, that is definitely a great question and great points that I brought up for why you want to ask this question. How can I further develop my potential? And number 7, I like this question. I've asked this often. What could I be doing better? After a few weeks on the job, asking this question may encourage your boss to provide you with much needed guidance for closing the gap between how you are performing and what your boss expects from you. In their attempt to avoid conflict and maintain positive morale, many managers find it hard to provide employees with negative evaluations. So wording your feedback requests in this way can help them to focus on your improvement areas. It also signals that you are eager to understand how you can get better, even if you're doing well. So absolutely, I ask this question all the time, and I'm often disappointed when they have nothing to add. But like the author mentions that, some bosses are a little bit, what does it say? How I want to say exactly how it says it. It says, many managers find it hard to provide employees with negative evaluation. So, yeah, I definitely asked this, what can I be doing better? Again, I feel like it signals that you're looking for more, whether that's a promotion and or more responsibilities, right? Because when you're saying, what could I be doing better? You're saying I'm open to additional input and feedback because I am eager, to add and take on more for my plate. So I do think that's a great question, and I use that one all the time. Okay, so then it concludes with the final point to consider. Every person is unique, including you and your new boss. Invariably, this means that some of these questions might not be applicable given the situation and your growing relationship, but the general rule still stands. You will accelerate your career success if you can manage your boss better. This requires you to understand them better, and a deliberate strategy that starts with smart questions can help. Absolutely 100%. I think a lot of employees overlook the fact that you are also managing your boss. I am going to enjoy discussing this today. But yeah, you definitely you have to manage it. You're managing every relationship that you have. So you're, besides just managing those beneath you, you also are going to be managing your peers' interaction with you as well as your bosses. So I did enjoy this article. I think it's straight, simple, and to the point, but the questions that they have mentioned to ask your boss are very good, and they do actually present opportunities or create opportunities for you to open lines of communication and trust with your new boss. Thank you for joining us today. Hello, my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Thank you for joining my channel today, and I hope that you enjoy the content today. Feel free to like, comment, and share the video, as well as subscribe so that you can get notifications for when I release new content. Also, click the link in the bio for more products from me, as I recently released the book, The Great Promotion, and I discuss how I got promoted 4 times in 6 months and received a bonus while working from home.